Well, it seems we're having a few troubles with Francis's audio at the moment, so we're going to try and get him back. If you haven't managed to do so already, please do try and go to our feedback survey, which is in the menu bar. We have been trying desperately to find ways of getting through this year, communicate with you, stay in touch with you, and bring you all together, even though we can't see you face to face. And your feedback would be very, very much appreciated. So go to the menu bar and place your feedback then. Once again, we will be closing the voting for the People's Choice Award for the IHMA Excellence in Holography Awards in just a couple of minutes. So please, please do get your vote in. That is also in the menu bar as well. The other thing I wanted to say is that if anybody has had any questions for any of our speakers, you can get in touch with them via the chat function on the platform, or alternatively, please do contact a member of the team and we'll be happy to put you in touch with any of the speakers. I'm only sorry that we haven't been able to answer all of your questions so far in the conference. We have been absolutely inundated. And again, all of this content will be available online afterwards for up to a month. So if you or any of your colleagues want to log back in, if you're a paying delegate and watching now, you absolutely can come in and watch this information and the conference again anytime you like. But if you've got any colleagues that haven't been delegates, haven't managed to see it, we will be doing a special rate to watch again all of the conference information. We're trying to get Francis back. I believe he is back now with some audio, so let's try and get him again. Francis.
Well, thank you, Hannah, for first of all for filling in and for taking us through the submissions for the IHMA Excellence Awards. I have to admit it's going to be difficult for me to choose which is best. Just a reminder to everyone to stick around after this session to find out who the winners are. As Hannah said, my name is Francis Tuffy. I'm editor of Holography News, and I'll be moderating this on innovation and the next frontier. Anyone attending yesterday's panel discussion on the state of innovation in holography will be happy that this session is going to prove it's alive and well. We have 4 wonderful presentations that cover innovations from polycarbonate, UV embossing, nanostructures, and 3D stereo depth. I'll be putting your questions to the presenters at the end of each presentation. So please use the Q&A mode on the right of the screen to ask your questions. So without further ado, let's get to it. Our first presentation is Edge-to-Edge DOVIDs in polycarbonate documents, and it's going to be presented by Robert Dvorak from IQ Structures. Robert's been developing optical security features since 2008. His work involves incorporating DOVIDs into polymer banknotes and has developed unique technologies for integrating optical security features into polycarbonate documents. So over to you, Robert.
Thank you, Francis, for the introduction. It was more than I really am. Hello, everybody. It's perfect to have you here. Even I do not see you. I think at least you hear me. Welcome to this presentation. I'm gonna be speaking about the polycarbonate, as usually you are used to that I'm speaking about the polycarbonate. I have seen for those 2 days so many interesting presentations here that it's good for me to know that the holography is not sleeping even these difficult days. Thank you for that and congratulations. My fingers crossed for the further developments. Well, what I will do now, I will introduce you one of our latest developments. It's dedicated to polycarbonate. That was already announced, and actually this is let's say another continuing of the development we have started with our IQ Pro ID system. Actually, this presentation will be dedicated to the latest release, which is a wallpaper holographic pattern for polycarbonates. When I speak about the wallpapers, you definitely understand what it is. So there is a basic tile on the polycarbonate foil, repeating itself vertically and horizontally. So this is actually the wallpaper I'll be talking about. So when we move to another slide, so you will see this is actually what is currently on the market. You all know it very well. So it's a patch, holographic patch, positions over the photo, partly over the personalized data, not protecting much. That's what we here call shoulder protection, because literally it's usually protecting a shoulder. There is another, let's say, extension of this. So when you let's say, increase the size of the hologram, well, we are speaking about the holograms which are inside the polycarbonate. So when you increase them dramatically, then you get something which we call a total protection. And total, it's because it's covering most of the data, so the whole photo and the all the data which are laser engraved inside the polycarbonate body of the document. It's not only related to the ID card, but of course it's also related to the passport data pages. So when we move further, we finally come to the topic we discuss here, or I discuss here today. So this is a wallpaper pattern for polycarbonate documents, either IDs or passports. So when you look at it, you see that there's a repeating pattern of this of the part of our logo. So not registered to the ID card nor passport data page, simply placed over the whole area of the surface of the ID card or passport data page. Actually, what was the reason to create this? So there are two reasons. The first one is that there are a lot of documents on the market at the moment, which are well, in the case of passport data page, they are based on paper data page with a lamination, holographic lamination foil carrying the wallpaper pattern. Of course, there are a lot of PVC, PET, or Teslin-based ID cards, which are having the same security, so a holographic foil laminated over the area of the card carrying the wallpaper pattern. So the first reason for having the wallpaper pattern in polycarbonate is that there are original documents, the older generation of documents, which are having the wallpaper pattern. So this is the one reason. So you can copy the wallpaper pattern from the previous generation to the polycarbonate generation one-to-one. So the second reason is that imagine you can have there are usually three main documents, personal identity documents within a country. So ID, then driver's license, and passport. So imagine that on all those three documents, you can have one holographic foil, even if they are in polycarbonate. So the same pattern, the same graphics, usually, well, we can think about the coat of arms or some national symbols. They can be same for all the three documents. So, well, when you think about it, you just might have the one foil, holographic foil, for being laminated inside the polycarbonate document. You really, we are speaking about the saving of costs, because when you have one foil for all three documents, you significantly save the production costs. And of course, once you can have such a foil, you can I mean, the producer of the document can have the foil on stock. So whenever the customer comes, he can use whatever it's the particular project is. If it's the demand for ID or passport data page, the producer can take the foil from stock and start the production immediately. So the second reason is that you can use the same foil, polycarbonate foil with the holograms for various documents. Now let's get down to the technology. So, well, to have such a large hologram wallpaper from edge to edge, you need to have some system how you will place or fix the hologram inside. So what we have is a system of micro perforations which are all around the foil, all around the hologram, and they allow the hologram to be properly fixed inside the polycarbonate body. So this is the condition for having the edge-to-edge design, because when you look at this slide, when you go up to the edge, you need to have again a system how to mount, how to fix the edges, how to protect them against delamination, And the system of microperforations is the way how to do that. So no matter if it's from left to right, up to down, you are able to fix it properly. There are no problems within the lifetime of the card with the delamination at all. When we go further, this is more about the processing of the foil. So what is actually behind the usage of such a holographic polycarbonate foil for different documents. So just imagine you have a master sheet. Well, of course, you can have a master reel in case you use Meltzer machines because we produce these foils in reel. But let's start with the master sheet. So we have a master sheet of defined size. It's a large size. And you have it on stock. So whenever the customer comes, says, okay, well, I need 100,000 passports and 500,000 IDs. You take this foil with his motifs, his coat of arms, his country motifs from stock. You just sheet it in proper layout. So layout 1 can be for ID cards. Layout 2 can be for passport data pages. You sheet it and you immediately go to the production. So there are no delays in production. So it's really on-demand manufacturing of polycarbonate documents. So that's how easy it is. So there are no tricks. You simply, once you have the master sheet, large one, you can divide it in particular layouts and then go for the production. Of course, well, before we produce the master sheet, we need to consider the layouts, what the customer has, so the real ones, and then we need to optimize the size of the master sheet. But well, obviously, this is something which is discussed before the master sheet is produced. But there's always a way how to do it. Getting further, I would like to show you. Well, this is our latest hologram, which we produce. Well, also for purposes of the wallpaper pattern, but also for a different purposes. We will use it within our upcoming Olympus passport, sample passport. But in this case, I will just show you how this will be used also as a wallpaper pattern. So when you look at this slide, you see the basic tile, which is actually the Pegas. It's multiplied. I mean, it's randomly, not randomly, but systematically distributed along the X and Y axis. So it forms the wallpaper pattern. So when you look, the same wallpaper pattern is on the ID card, the same is on the passport data page. You might think about having the problems on the machine readable zone, but the truth is, and you know it very well, we are using the diffraction phenomenon here. So we are able to tune the light coming from the hologram in direction we need. So at the end, there is no interaction between the hologram and the reading system of the machine readable zone. So this can be fully used, fully utilized. There is actually no problem with the interference with the reading systems. So another slide will show you the real sample. So this is the real foil, 520 millimeters wide. You see the fish design up to the edge. When you go along, you see the diffraction. So we are able to put any holographic effects, all the effects we have in portfolio, we are able to put on this polycarbonate foil in the system of this wallpaper tiles. When you go closer to this, you will see now the system of micro perforations, which allows the polycarbonate or the hologram to be properly fixed inside. So this is the real foil. Here you see that it's already out. So whenever there is a demand from the side of the customer, we can start discussion. We can discuss the master sheet layouts. Of course, we are ready to send the sample sheets for lamination tests, for the delamination tests. So at the moment, this product was released. And we will be very welcomed. You are very welcomed. We'll be very pleased if you talk about it with us. So don't hesitate to give me a call or write me an email. I'm of course active also on the LinkedIn, so you will find me there under my name. And actually that's it. So it's easy, no big deal. Long development, but actually once it's developed, you know it very well, then it works. So let me thank you very much. I wish you a pleasant December, a good end of the year, and good luck in the next year. I hope we will see each other soon face to face. This is my wish. Thank you very much, and thank also to the organizers. It ran very smoothly, and fingers crossed for the next events. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Great. Thank you so much, Robert. And as you say, holography is not sleeping. You're absolutely right. So if you'll just stick with us for a little bit longer, we're going to get some questions. I've got, before they show up my screen, I've got a question for you. How do you trace the mother sheet? So if you're going from a mother sheet and then making daughters from it, are you able to track back at some future point to the mother that gave birth to the daughter?
Well, actually, this is always a matter of a particular customer. So the customers all the customers has different layouts. So whenever we consider the let's say mother sheet for it, it's always connected with the defined and certain customer. He tells us what kind of layouts he uses, and we are optimizing the mother sheet size and layout with regards and to this concrete layouts he used for his production. So this is always step by step, and it's always let's say customer oriented and customer produced, so customized.
Understood, understood. Do you think that having the one design across different formats makes it easier for a counterfeiter, or does it
Well,
have no impact on the counterfeiting attempts?
Well, actually, it depends. From my perspective, it always depends on the. It always depends on the security features and effects you use. So we are very much. Well, I wouldn't say proud, but well, we are focusing on continuous development of security effects, so holographic effects. So I can say that we are quite confident that using these effects. Either on one document or on 3 documents, it will not affect the resistance against counterfeiting. So whenever you have the real good and precise high and technological developed features, holographic features, you don't need to be afraid of decreasing the counterfeiting resistance when you use it on more than 1 document.
Okay, and are you recommending that the jumbo rolls, if you will, the mother rolls, do you keep inventory, or does the applicator keep inventory?
No, actually, this is the best for the manufacturer to keep it on stock, because he really can work on demand. So whenever there is a demand or inquiry or just order, he can start production. There is no, because, well, this is a good question, because there is nothing, well, on the polycarbonate foil, there are only inorganic compounds. So the lifetime of such a polycarbonate holographic foil is the same as the lifetime of polycarbonate on stock. So there are no special conditions required. So it can, well, the best is that if it stays on the stock of the customer, because he then can react very fast and easily.
That's great. One quick last question here. It's to do with the micro slits. And are you aware of any IP issues surrounding that, or is it a general recognized in the industry?
Well, actually, this is the technology which, well, of course, there are certain IPs related. This is a technology which is, well, already known on the market, but there are certain IPs around. So you need to be aware of this. You need to understand how it works, and you need to be really in detail when you produce such a foil. But the way we do it is, very much secured with regards to the IP IP rights to use it. So this is the answer. Yeah. Well, you know,
Okay.
the industry is quite well IP controlled and managed.
That's great. Look, I'm afraid we've run out of time for the questions. There are some more coming in, but rest assured, if you'd like to continue the conversation with Robert, then there is a private message function on the conference platform, which I sort of think of as being a little bit about like meeting in the bar afterwards, but without the expensive bill at the end of the evening. So thank you so much, Robert. So
Thank you very much.
moving on to, you're welcome, you're welcome. So